Commissioner, thank you for bringing us here to Department of Family Services. I think there's, 38 county departments. We fix potholes and build parks and finance and everything like that. But I think maybe what the work that these people here do at Department of Family Services, with families, with adoptions, with fostering, might be the most important thing that happens in Clark
I
County
think
government.
so. I think DFS is definitely one of the most important departments that we have in Clark County. And when you look at the vulnerable population that they reach out to and serve, is something that's just extremely near and dear to my heart. So I'm glad we're here, and it's just an amazing experience and opportunity to be able to give that exposure so that those out there who don't really know what DFS is all about, for us to give them an opportunity to be educated on it. So at any rate, just kind of heard that, and he was like, yeah, we adopted him when he was a baby.
And speaking of educated, you educated all of us and educated yourself a few years ago, and you even now have your own podcast called Relative Unknown at thelawrenceweekly.com, which tells your own journey about a 46-year secret.
Yeah, man. Just to be able to really talk about my personal life and, to tell my story about being adopted and what it was like to live in that kind of fear. Because that's what it was fear, and to be ashamed. I didn't realize that it wasn't my fault. I didn't ask to come here, but to be able to go through the years and find the strength and to work with people to help me be able to reach down and tell my story. It's been amazing at folks all around the country that have reached out to me and have just said thank you so much, because this helped me in my own personal journey. And so really excited about it. We've had 2 episodes that's been out. It's a 6-part series, and so really excited. A lot of people are listening to it, and again, I hope it's a blessing to someone else out there.
How rewarding is it to get that feedback from people you don't know that are going through similar journey that you have?
It's extremely rewarding, and it's also very therapeutic for me as well. To be able to sit and listen to it and hear family members that I've been friends with for years, only to find out that they are actually blood family members of mine, was really something for me to wrap my brain around. And like I said, to be on this journey of my own and meet the biological parents who gave me life was really something tough and very challenging for me. Having grown up in my own family, the only family I've ever known in my life, now to be thrusted into a new group of people at this age in my life was very tough and very challenging. But again, to hear from young people and adults who run from their past, because it's a painful journey. It is way more painful than I thought it would ever be.
Talk a lot more about adoptions here a little bit with Paul Hammock, but you see your lapel pin there, the Las Vegas, chairman of the Las Vegas Convention and Visitors Authority. The new convention center seems to be taking shape. 1.4 million square feet, $1.5 billion, taking over the old spot where the Riviera was, fronting out onto Las Vegas Boulevard. This is something that really needs to happen, right, Commissioner?
We're really excited, and we really want to thank the governor and our legislators and many of our taxpayers who saw it necessary that we expand not only our brand but our footprint to be able to attract international shows from around the world that want to be in Las Vegas. But when they look at our convention space that we have, we're so very grateful to the Sands Expo, the Venetian, Palazzo, MGM, all of the other Caesars Entertainment, all the other Wynn and their convention area. We're just so grateful for what we have, and we do have the bed space, but the capacity of being able to accommodate the bigger shows, the international shows, that really generates lots of revenue for our community and for our city. That's what we need, and that's what we're going after. We've celebrated 24 years as being the number one trade show destination, and the only way you stay number one is you got to continue to reinvent yourself. And so, thank you to the men and women of the LVCVA under the leadership of Rossi Rollencotter and our board of trustees. And we're really excited, and we are just excited about the groundbreaking in January of 2018, and we're looking forward to leaving the next generation something bigger, something better, and something more exciting than what we currently have.
If people maybe sometimes they don't realize that how big conventions are to our overall picture here. They see these enormous conventions that come to town, maybe clogging up some of their streets around Paradise or some of those other areas that you mentioned, Commissioner. But we are in the major leagues in the convention business with the Orlandos, the Chicagos, and New York Cities. But we do need to keep pushing it up to as you say, get even bigger and get even.
Oh yeah, I've been so extremely blessed, and there's been some critics out there who talk about the amount of traveling and things that we do in order to attract those visitors. But when I've had an opportunity to meet folks from Orlando or Chicago or other places, New York, they will not shy away from telling us, we're gunning for your spot, so you guys better continue to keep up at that pace, because they're building and they're expanding and they're growing. And we have a big target on our back. And Las Vegas is the only thing about some of those places around the country. I love New York, love Chicago, love Orlando, but it's nothing like Las Vegas. You can go to some of those places and by 10 o'clock at night, it's a ghost town. Here in Vegas, it's around the clock. Most folks are just getting out of bed, taking a nap, ready for the nightlife. And so it's Las Vegas. Nobody does it like us here.
It seems to be not as much talk about the convention center. Most of the talk has been focused on the Las Vegas Stadium, which is going to house some football teams, UNLV and the Raiders, go Raiders. But obviously, as you say, the board members and things are already putting in some bids for World Cups, some other international events. So the stadium definitely is a large component of our convention business center.
It's time. Where people said that professional sports would never come to Las Vegas. Well, don't never say never in Las Vegas. Anything can happen. This is a place where anything can happen. And so, to see professional football here, whom would have ever thought a hockey team in its first year would do as well as the Golden Knights? Las Vegas Golden Knights. Man, they're on the map. And then we're so excited to welcome the WNBA to Clark County next year. So it's just going and going and going. And before you know it, we'll have Major League Baseball. We'll have Major League Soccer. And of course, the NBA will land right here in Las Vegas. Can't wait.
You said that here first. Commissioner, again, being in your chair as the chairman of the Las Vegas Convention Visitors Authority, you are also saying that maybe it's time to look at how some of those room tax funds are distributed. Maybe a larger portion should be going towards education.
Well, when you look at the room tax, we're doing pretty good. And we thank the visitors. We thank the locals who go out and do staycations. Every little bit helps. And when we look at our education system, everybody has to do a little bit more. We just have to push the envelope to do a little bit more. Thank you to our resort partners out there who, they make up a huge amount of our room tax budget. And we just thank them so very much. But here in Southern Nevada, we just have to do a better job at valuing education. Our kids deserve a better chance. We're so excited that we are now going to have a real medical school here. And so our students do not have to leave to go out of state. They can get it right here. We have a law school right here. So let's just do a better job at grooming our kids from pre-K all the way up through high school and give them something that they would be excited to stay right here in their very own state, opposed to taking those dollars out of state. But we have to make the pie a little bit sweeter. And so all of us have to step up to do a lot better as it relates to education.
Commissioner, as we tape, it's been almost a couple months since the 1 October tragedy, and no way to diminish any of the lives lost or anything associated with that. But has that affected our tourist numbers or convention business at all?
I think the country is affected by not only what happened here in Las Vegas, but you look at shortly thereafter, New York had an incident. There were other places in this country where we had a couple of incidents. And so I think right now we're all on high alert. It's a different world we live in today. And so did it affect us? Absolutely. It hit our numbers because people are kind of thinking, well, I better think this thing twice and make sure that we have all things in place. But at the end of the day, as Americans, we're just some resilient folks. We don't live in fear. We just we do what we have to do, and we work hard, and we love to play hard. We love to enjoy the fruits of our labor, and so I think that we've seen numbers here in Clark County that have been through the roof. We may have taken a little dip shortly thereafter because I think people wanted to give Las Vegas time to get it back, to get ourselves back together. And we thank folks for that. But now we're ready for them to all come on back, and they've been coming. I was just in the airport and packed house. So that's a good thing.
Obviously, we've also gone through a marathon where tens of thousands of people were on the street, and our biggest day of the year is upon us with at least 300,000 people for New Year's Eve. What do you say to somebody that is considering
Let me begin thanking all those who participated in the Rock and Roll Marathon. I had an opportunity to be a part of the kickoff and ribbon cutting of that event. And it was a very passionate marathon where people from around the world were here pouring out their hearts of just, we're here for you. I'm not canceling, I'm running. I came here just to show you how much we love Las Vegas. And so we're very grateful. New Year's Eve, we hear people are making reservations. We hear rooms and hotels are selling out. That tells you that folks love Las Vegas and that they've wrapped their arms around us, not just in America, but around the world, and have said, you know what, Las Vegas, you've been good to us over the years, and this is our way to show you how much we thank you.